A third coaching component here in Bill Johnson, who arrived from several stops to coach the defensive line to a national championship last year, and his duties have been altered.
Yeah, Bill Johnson, he came in to help Meatball Dennis Johnson, who went out with 2 double knee surgeries last year in the summer before the 2019 season began. And Bill Johnson was he actually coached Coach Orgeron at Northwestern State in Louisiana. Bill Johnson, the defensive line coach for LSU, literally coached Coach Orgeron in the trenches at Northwestern State. I just love stories like that, ties like that. It's what makes college football the coolest sport in the world, I believe. But Bill Johnson, he's a football lifer. He really, really tight with Steve Ensminger. Those two are probably best friends. Bill Johnson, he's the creator of Aaron Donald's greatness for LA. He was on that staff that went to the Super Bowl, and he was also on he was also on the Saints 2009 defensive line staff. He was the defensive line coach for that Super Bowl winning team. Super Bowl losing team by the Rams with Aaron Donald as the defensive player of the year. That was Bill Johnson's final NFL role before he came and really saved LSU's defensive line in the summer. Orgeron needed somebody fast. He needed someone he could depend on in a bind. Meatball Johnson had to have these surgeries and was going to be serving more as an analyst off the field. And Bill came in and he did a hell of a job. He won a national title, and yet another ring on his finger. And that defensive line actually loved Bill Johnson. The sad thing is that I don't think Bill did a bad job this year. I don't think Bill was bad at all. This defensive line were ferocious. They were animalistically brilliant. The only thing I would say, though, is I think Bill Johnson has coached enough. I think he's coached his last game in college football. I think there's times I saw pictures, footage on the sideline where I didn't see the fire I saw last year from Bill Johnson. I didn't see the energy I saw, and it's a grind. It's a hellish grind to go through a football season, whether it be NFL, youth football, peewee football, or college football. It's a grind every time, every practice, every meeting. I just didn't see the fire anymore, and I think Coach Orgeron didn't either. And that's fine. There's nothing personal here. Anything I say is never aimed personally at anyone. Bill Johnson is a hell of a coach, and it's just time he becomes an analyst. And I think it's time that we give someone else, a very exciting someone else, a shot. And from what I've been told, news is kind of slowed with Christmas, but it will pick up immediately after because there's a lot of news going down and there's a lot of interviews being had.
And what you just outlined makes a whole lot of sense for a guy that has that kind of wealth of knowledge and experience from years of coaching and acquiring all that knowledge and experience to go to an analyst role where maybe the fire, the energy, all those things, and not talking about that he doesn't care anymore, but having just that ability to go through the grind of hitting the practice field, running around, showing technique, lining up to show this is where we want the hand placement and this is where we want, and doing all those things goes to a situation where he can just review tape and make suggestions and find things and work at a different pace that might be more in line with where he is at this point in his career.
Christian Lockator, graduate assistant last year, maybe he takes that D-line coach job. I could see him absolutely do that. I think he's ready for it. Absolutely 100% ready for that job. Benny Logan, LSU analyst, former great LSU defensive tackle, number 18 as well for LSU, played for the Philadelphia Eagles for a few years. He is another outside talk for that D-line position. Manny Michel, big-time LSU analyst, he could also get that D-line spot. He's already interviewed.